Hello. We should be live. Hello, and welcome to Friday afternoon here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, youtube.com/DungeonsandDragons/live, and facebook.com/DDO Unlimited. How's it going, peeps? Friday, 12:01, officially Friday afternoon. Welcome to the show. I am DDO's Community Manager Cordovan, taking care of a little pirate problem I am over on Kyber, on my character named Armagh. Not quite sure what I'm doing today. I'll probably end up doing some Crystal Cove, but I thought I might show off a few tips for those who need it. Guess I should mention that we have got a big bonus going on this weekend. We have got a buddy boost. That means you will get plus 10% XP for every member in the party other than yourself through Sunday. On top of that, through Sunday is Crystal Cove. So Crystal Cove, when QA gets into the office on Monday, they will be shutting things down. So whether or not that means you can finally get back to doing other things, or you hope that they have car problems, I guess I will leave that up to you. How's it going, Druid's Fire? Looking forward to seeing you and some DDO peeps at Gen Con. Yes, I am going to Gen Con next week, Thursday to Sunday in Indianapolis. Friday night gathering for buffs at the Omni Severin Hotel. You know, you can actually do something I have got. Let me give you a few tips here to start things off. So, we now have this thing that allows you to type in a number of the amount. That amount can be the amount of map pieces you have, and it does all the work for you. Used to not be the case. The other thing that is worth mentioning, and I only bring it up because I myself had forgotten all about it until just recently, we have got recipes that will allow you... Let me see if I can do this the easy way here. Figure out which bag these things are in. Ah, there we go. See all these stolen malachites, stolen opals, what have you, that might be cluttering up your bag unless you're actually using them for crafting? You can turn those in for doubloons. See, gem trade-in, you can go up, but the other thing is you can just do 200 copper, 100 silver, 50 gold on that. So that is a good way to get yourself a whole ton of doubloons with your leftovers, if you want to do that. You can also upgrade, you know, as you need for your items. But if you don't, actually, if you're not looking for the items, or you already have what you basically are going to need, and you're just down to doubloons and stuff, you can get these. Now, why would you just want doubloons? That would be... Let's see if I can find it here. Because things like pirate grog, treasure compasses, and a really good one to remember is some of these gems just take doubloons. So, one in particular that is a really popular one is this one. It summons a greater air elemental, can be used at level 4 and up. It's a great way to get a distraction. It's really useful for low-level quests. The air elemental is, you know, pretty decent. And all it takes is doubloons. So, for example, come Sunday afternoon when you're just like, alright, I got all my stuff. If you want to take all these Crystal Cove items, convert them into doubloons, and then get yourself, you know, a bunch of things like greater ice methods, large water elementals. In particular, like I say, the air elemental seems to be among the most popular. You can do that. It's a good way to just kind of get stuff that'll carry you through really for months, if you're interested. So I would do that. Twere you. It's pretty useful. I mean, the other option is you can just save it, because maybe you don't need any gear this time around, but you might in the future. And that's another thing I tend to do, just because it's pretty useful to be able to at least have a head start on the next year's stuff if you want to. So, tip number 1. The other tip, see this pirate grog? Actually, I guess I'm a little low on that, so I'm just going to get this from the store, unless I've got one. Nope, it's a pirate port. Yeah, so you can get it from the store, but you can also just get it for doubloons. Just for ease of use here, I'm going to get it from the store to show you what I'm going to show you here. And again, I bet most DDO players already know about this, but just in case you don't, there are some ways, if you are getting sick of the treasure area, that you can get a lot of doubloons and treasure map pieces pretty quickly, to the point that you can frankly unlock Crystal Cove solo. That is by design. It's a little grindy, a little boring, but it is not a bad way to go. There's a couple of quests in the harbor, actually a lot of quests in the harbor, that just have tons and tons of humanoids and kobolds. I like Butcher's Path. So, you go into your inventory, chug a grog, go into Butcher's Path. Doesn't matter what level, doesn't matter what difficulty, because the pirate grog simply is when you kill, there is a percentage chance to get a thing. So you can just go in on really any level character at this point, because we're talking Butcher's Path here, and just start grinding your way through all these kobolds. Do it over and over and over again. You'll get tons of treasure map pieces, you'll get a bunch of doubloons of various kinds. And it is a good way to do it. You can do, I know some people swear by Kobold Assault as well. Kobold Assault has, 300 kobolds, so that's a pretty useful one. The thing I find about Kobold Assault is you kind of have to wait for them all to spawn. So I tend to find Butcher's Path is a lot faster. Now, keep in mind, you do have to have a grog for that, so if you don't want to spend your doubloons on it, you got to go through the DDO store, but it's really cheap. It's like 25 turbine points. So it might be an option for those free points you got hanging around, favor rewards and that if you want to go that route. Or, if you want to support us. That's always great, of course. But this is a really good way to just kind of maximize your time to treasure map ratio and things like that. So it gets a little dull. It's a little grindy, a little metagamey, but at the same time, and there is one actual real advantage for running around the island area rather than doing this, and that is you'll get a lot of maps to, various chests and that sort of thing on the Crystal Cove Island, and you don't get that doing this way. Did I say big old T points? I know, I'm terrible. DDO points. It's hard. You say I've been working in this job since 2010, and after a while it's just second nature. You don't even think about it anymore. And now all of a sudden it matters. So. So, me being Mr. Moneybags that I am, I tend to just buy a big stack of pirate grog and just do it this way. But, like I say, it is actually quite inexpensive in the DDO store if you're interested. And it's one way to go. Like I say, you miss out on loot. You miss out on quite a bit of loot because you'll get some good And heroic deeds. You don't get heroic deeds either for doing this, which is something that you might want to do, you know, from running in the Cove area. Plus, of course, you're farther away, so you don't get the message when Cove is opened so much. Or do you? I'm actually not sure if you do or not now. I can't think of whether you do. So, anyway, you can just do this. I usually stop at this point. You don't need to complete the quest, especially if you got the star or what have you. You can recall out, reset the quest, do it again. That's another tip. So let's see, I talked about the gem upgrade. You can also upgrade the gems, you know, gems for doubloons, the use of the pirate grog. Of course, pirate port is nice. One other thing that, frankly, I had forgotten about just because I've been running, you know, Crystal Cove for many a moon now. You can get there when the event is active from the Hall of Heroes. You don't actually have to run all the way over to Sailor Calatin here to go to Crystal Cove. You can just go to the Hall of Heroes, and there's a section up on the upper floor that will just take you straight to the events when they're active. So that may be an option for you. The Ember repeating light crossbow in Korthos is not a repeater but a light crossbow. Should it be repeater? Yeah, it should. I'm surprised that one got through for a while. Huh, interesting. Alright, so Alex DDO and Alejo N want me to talk again about the true reincarnation investigation that you know, we've talked a lot about on the show. We put in place monitoring a couple of updates ago now that are helping our engineers figure out what's going on with the true reincarnation bug. This is a rare issue, but a very serious issue, where a couple of folks, or periodically someone who true reincarnates, will lose their stuff. Clearly that's a high priority issue for us. There are some things you can do to help minimize it, the odds of it happening. The biggest is to make sure that you, especially if you're doing an epic reincarnation and racial reincarnation, at least that's what we've seen more often lately. Do your epic reincarnation. You know, do that full respec, go into the game world, shut down the game client, make sure it's not in your taskbar, reload up the game, and then do your true reincarnation. We tend to find, whether it is actually causal or not, we tend to find it happens more frequently with people who do boom boom one right after the other. So that's always good advice, especially when you're looking at account save things, to close your client down, not through the X at the top, but through escape, you know, hit quit, make sure it's not in your taskbar, do that. The other thing that can help is, oh shoot, there was one other piece of advice. Now what was it? No, those are the two main. Just make sure you do that, and you're good. So we have made a lot of progress on this issue in that the number of people experiencing it is down significantly. We're not sure at this point whether the people who are experiencing it tend to be people who prepared for reincarnation, say, before the fixes went in, and are now doing their reincarnations, or whether it's a completely new reincarnation. We have seen a few of those. But overall, the numbers of these are in the single digits since we've been doing the fix overall. So, but of course, when it happens to you, it's a very serious issue, and it tends to be a very loud issue on the forums because, hey, you lost your stuff. We understand. It sucks. Get in touch with customer service. Customer service has been helping people out who are in this position. and we're working on a fix for it. I don't really want to get into, right before I head to Gen Con, what some of the fixing for that might involve. We're still doing a lot of investigative work. I will say that one of the big culprits appears to be the TR cache. So we're going to have to do some serious work to figure that part out and find a good solution that makes everyone happy there. So... any update on wisdom to damage? It's in the favored soul. That's the first one. We also have got other things coming that we can talk about in the future. I can't really speak for customer service, Techno Beaver 1. Will we get all of our stuff back? It depends, you know. The unfortunate reality is we can't always get everyone all their stuff back. We also do have an issue, unfortunately, where people try to game customer service through this. And, you know, a lot of the reports end up being false reports, unfortunately. But clearly when it does happen to you, it's a very significant issue and one that we want to deal with. But we can't make promises like you'll get all your stuff back. There may be some things that we just don't have the ability to bring back. But we're doing what we can for it. Like I say, thankfully, it's... a quite rare issue. When it happens to you, you know, it really sucks. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what else people want me to say here. If I was able to say, yes, we have now fixed it, everything is fine, that would be lovely. But that's not the reality. Thankfully, like I say, it's pretty rare that it happens. So how's that for a nice heavy Friday afternoon? This is the casual show, right? Yeah. This is the show where it's just kind of chilling, hanging out. But hey, I want to answer what you guys want me to talk about, so, you know. Hey, Cleavebeard, nice to see you. Trilogy 29, forehand. Why UAC so low? Because I suck. Nah, because this character's just wearing level 16 armor at level 29, and I haven't really done any optimization work on this character. But yes, my AC is very low, isn't it? Suppose I should probably, being as I am a fighter, I guess I should probably care about my armor class, huh? Yeah. Oops. Gotta go this way. Hey, Backlagor. By the way, Friday on Ice is tonight. Backlagor's show. You should check it out. If you like DDO streaming, kicking off cool Friday night. Maybe you're hanging around doing some of those tips I've just been talking about and just want to chill out and hang out with some other DDO streamers and such while you do that. This would be a cool opportunity. So check out Fridays on Ice. It's a fun show, and thanks Backlagore for doing it. Hello, browsing monkey. Nice, Ranger X, trying the Bard Swashbuckler. I love my Bard Swashbuckler. I mean, one of the advantages of a Bard Swashbuckler is just massive attack speed. So that combined with, say, a high crit threat range could just do some amazing things. It's a fun class to play, too. Plus, you know, with the Bard, you've got a lot of crowd control and things like that, so that's pretty useful as well. Meshes nicely with the coup de grace. I don't know, you know, I warn you. I would warn you to be very careful in taking game tips from me. But, one thing I found really useful as a spell for a Bard is Irresistible Dance, because it is just that. It is a single target spell, but you can quicken it, and it basically forces them to dance, so it's a nice 1-2 punch between that and coup de grace. In general, I know, you know, pre-swashbuckler or non-swashbucklers a lot of times won't take Irresistible Dance. There are other crowd control sort of methods that are perhaps a little more useful in general. But for a Bard Swashbuckler with coup de grace, Irresistible Dance can be an extremely useful tool, because it basically is like the failsafe. Is there a timeline for Favored Soul Cleric Pass besides the typical before Ravenloft? Not really. I mean, it's next, essentially. It'll be our next update of significance. But I don't really want to commit to a date at this point. It's a little... would not be wise. Pretty soon, though, I'll tell you that much. Really? I don't have that much? Alright. Got plenty of stolen Malachites, so let me get myself... Actually, what am I gonna need? Wish I could remember what all my stuff was. Upgrade 2, I need 90, huh? Okay. Alright, So, follow-up question, is Ravenloft currently on track for around when you guys said it would come out? Yeah, we haven't really committed to a date, and that's by design. You know, frankly, we're hard at work on this thing, and we don't want to get into a position... Let's see, I need another... Sorry. 50. So, I need at least another 10. Let's do another 10 here. We're hard at work on it. We don't want to commit to a date, because we don't want to get people's hopes up until we're actually ready to do this thing. But yeah, we're on track. I can tell you that much. We'll have to just kind of end up seeing where we end up with in terms of the thing. Thank you for reminding me about my crappy armor, by the way. Very least I can do that. Do I really not even have... Yeah. Well, I guess I need to get some dragon shards, don't I? Yeah, epic version of the mummified bat, that would be rad, I agree. Thanks, Forehand. Saying I've TR'd more than 100 times, I've only lost 2 things. Customer service has always helped you out, appreciate that, thank you. Dum-dum. I purchased a long time ago a cosmetic armor kit that is permanent. When did it change? It was years ago now. Well, no, a couple of years ago. Since we introduced the Mirror of Glamoring, we added a glamored armor slot. And the nice thing about that is it allows you to just kind of have an armor look independent of the armor. The old cosmetic armor kits you had to bind essentially to a suit of armor, so then when you out-leveled it, you were kind of out of luck. This allows us to sell armors that really are permanent like that, so... Any chance of getting named rapiers and bucklers? I would love that. We have at least in the last year did have a new named buckler. That much I know. Because I've got it. Yeah, free Mirror of Glamoring this week. So, if you do not... Well, actually, that's a really good point. What a timely thing to mention. Yeah, so we have a free Mirror of Glamoring, so if you want to glamour something, now's the time. Because you can do it for free. The reason we can't copy the old cosmetics to the Mirror of Glamoring is they use a completely different system. So what we have to do is rebuild that armor look using the new tech. So we're essentially doing the same amount of work as it is building a new set of armor, which is fine, except that some of them didn't sell very well. So the ones that didn't sell very well aren't really worth doing that work on. However, some of the ones that didn't sell very well did sell. And so people who are like, yeah, but I like it, are kind of out of luck, and that sucks. But, you know, that is the reality of business to some extent. And if we had unlimited time, I think we would do more of that kind of thing, but... Any chance in the near present for a deconstruction of Thunderforged items? No. It's one of those things that I know people don't really want to hear it, but it is by design. that you remake that. Yes, it is. It can be a grind. That is by design. In case you don't know, I'm just letting someone else take the kill on that one. I don't want to steal their kill, as it were. If you do want a coffee and pirate grog vendor, you can get a quick link to it in the store right there with Perky Petra. Alright, what else should I mention? You can bind here if you want to. The fun thing about binding here is when you go try to come back and the event's not on, you find yourself in a very empty area. It's all like, aww. And come on, you hosers. How many people does it take to turn in this thing? They only need like 45 left, dudes. 8 more. Nice. Welcome. Looks like we'll be doing Crystal Cove here in just a little bit. Yay! We are aware that we need to jump up on, go up, at least like up to 35 or so on Crystal Cove. Yeah, I mean, I could just run torches, that's fine. Someone go pick up the teleporters when you get a chance, and bring them in. Actually, looks like we're cool now.
Echoes in the cave. Incoming! A kobold worker has died.
What?
Your party has acquired a kobold teleporter.
If you just want to drop the teleporter in this area south here, I'll come pick it up and then start using it. Oh, okay, looks like we got worker barrels, cobalt workers, healing torches. Okay, we're good. Johansson Brig. The Phoenix robe regalia can be mirrored from the regalia of the Phoenix, and the ninja outfit can be mirrored from the Spider Sun comparison. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You hosers, when did I immigrate to Canada? I don't know. A good word is a good word, you know? Sometimes you just gotta go with a very great phrase. Hosers is a great phrase. Plus, you know, I am from Minnesota. We're kind of like the Canadians of America. There we go.
A kobold worker has died. A kobold worker has died.
Could someone get to the line?
Incoming! A kobold worker has died.
So you're right that a lot of the necromancer staves do tend to be sort of like black sticks. Some of that is actually by design, because they are kind of necromancy-like. But I think, you know, as someone who's played a Thief Acrobat, there are some pretty great quarterstaff looks, but you just gotta kind of hunt around for them. My suggestion would be to check out the DDO wiki on quarterstaffs. Just look at a bunch of looks, see which one maybe works best for you. I don't know if they're actually going to get all the way over there.
Incoming!
Yeah, we don't have an exact ETA on the Favored Soul update. It's just, sweet. We just have really too much going on to really want to commit to a date at this point.
A kobold worker has died.
I have a little bit of time left. Let's see if I can get if I have any kobold requisitions.
Okay, you can now have more workers. Go, 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 go. Sorries, already increased workers as much as possible. Okay, you keep acquisition form and use it another time. Incoming! Another one? Really? Really? I'm a double-barrel kobold! Kobold human will not hear the end of this! Who the kobold now? Woohoo! Another one! Wait a minute! Really? Suffer back then!
Okay. Get back on the line. Yeah, I can't wait for the Favored Soul Cleric update either. It's going to be a challenging one. Yeah, I believe the blast is in the shape of a skull. Well, we had a bunch of workers die on us, that's why I bought a few more. So I don't know, I do the torches and then I do the workers, but I do it all so quick that it doesn't really matter that much on the timing of it. This is clearly not a very good torch run, or a Crystal Cove run. Look at all these dead kobolds. See if they can get up around through here. Okay. Good there then. Frithel, if I can have you stay on the center, and if there's really nothing going on in the center, focus on the first third of the line.
Incoming!
A kobold worker has died. A kobold worker has died.
I'm just gonna kind of salvage what I can out of this run.
A kobold worker has died.
Ooh, shiny!
How about adding rune arms to green steel and thunderforged? Yeah, that would be cool. We've long wanted to do that. We just haven't really had the time or resources to be able to dedicate to it. Plus, getting rune arms to work with those systems would not be as easy as just making a rune arm. There's underlying engineering work that would have to take place. So it would be an investment in engineering that we just haven't had time for. Alright. How are we looking over here? Oh, there's some purples. That's cool.
Kobold be healed! Incoming! Kobold rich!
We do not currently have the tech to do a collectible upgrade weekend. I don't think we'd necessarily be opposed to that, but we just don't have the current tech to do that. Alright, then I'm probably going to do it with this run. Okay. Is SSG planning to make any new games? Or just keep DDO and Luchor going? We would love to make a new game. If the future and your continued support and that allows us to do that, then hell yeah, we're going to make a new game. But it's too early at this point to really commit to something like that. And clearly I wouldn't announce a new game on the live stream. So... Alright, we got a minute left. We're basically done here. I don't know if there's even any point in keep looking. I think we pretty well cleared it all out. Kobold still hates you. Yark! 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 Kobold still hates you. One of the best songs in DDO history. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about the Tarrasque, or Tarrasque, or however you say it, but we haven't gone that route. It would be fun. Yep. Alright, yeah, I'll take my 175 and say yay. Plus the XP never hurts either. Alright. So what else should I mention? We're working on Ravenloft. I'm heading to Gen Con. We got a nice buddy boost this weekend. This is the final weekend for Crystal Cove. Mimic Hunt is coming fairly soon. We're actually doing pretty good in regard to getting it ready. I only have about another 5 minutes on the show, so I can't do a second Cove run here, so I'm just going to kill time in the island here. You know, Fierce Captain Takram, I would say it is not a very wise tactical decision to charge a ship full of player characters. Are we ever going to merge the servers? I don't know. I have no idea. If we do, it'll take a large amount of work to make possible. And it's likely that that might have a detrimental impact on our populations as well. DDO in its current state is not meant, or just does not support server merge. Because of things like guilds and airships, account unlocks, all sorts of things. Oh yeah, next Wednesday, that's a good point. I will not be here next Wednesday, nor will I be here next Friday. Reason being is I am going to be at Gen Con. Yep, I've got some pretty cool stuff that I've got going on in Gen Con, including the Friday night DDO meetup. But if you don't want to do that, like maybe you got other Gen Con plans, or you're not going to Gen Con, or what have you, get in touch with me if you're in the area. I am bringing DDO swag. Yes, it's older swag. We're not making special new swag for Gen Con. But if you don't have it, it's new to you. So, if you're going to be at Gen Con and you play DDO and you want free stuff that has the DDO logo on it, let me know. Get in touch with me. Find me on the convention floor. This is what I look like. DM us on Twitter or something like that if you need to. And I'd be happy to swing by wherever you're at in the convention, between my own stuff, and get you something if I can. Otherwise, the easiest way is to go to the Friday night meetup, but if you don't want to do that, you know. What am I doing at Gen Con? So I am going to a lot of the Writers' Symposium stuff. I'm going to a bunch of the Filmmaker Symposium stuff. For games, I'm going to be doing one of the Slugfest games called Battle for Greyport. It's sort of a Red Dragon Inn universe cooperative RPG game. And that should be a lot of fun. I always check out a lot of the board and card games. I'm a board and card game nerd as well. So I'll be doing just a lot of play testing and stuff from the convention hall. I'm going to be taking part in a Rocky Horror Picture Show, like Saturday night, tabletop session based on Dungeon World. I think it's the Dungeon World rule set. Miniature events. Going to go to a couple of the miniature seminars because I like the painting of minis. I'll do the paint and take and stuff. They Might Be Giants concert, that'll be fun. Gonna be doing that as well. And that's just a sampling. I spend a lot of... I try to plan out a lot of stuff, but I also like to give myself plenty of time to just kind of wander around and just sort of do whatever comes to me. Oh, Druid's Fire. So you know that guy is a friend of yours, huh? So I am going to the Cat Songs show. I'm gonna be doing that. A friend of mine was just like wanting to do that, so I was like, sure, why not? So I will be at that particular thing. So anyway, that's what I got. That's my miniature thing. Plus, you know, I do know Indianapolis moderately well, and I'm also going to be taking a little bit of time when I can, maybe Sunday or whatever, to hit up some of my favorite flea markets, antique shops, junk stores, vinyl record shops. See if I can continue my Atari hunt as I am wont to do. And what do you have against me, dudes? Team up. I'm also going to get to see Patrick Rothfuss speak in the Artists Row. Author of Wise Man's Fear, Name of the Wind, one of my favorite fantasy books of recent years, so that'll be really cool. I'm going to be checking out, you know, any of the D&D stuff I can. At one point I was actually going to run a little mini session, but then just time didn't permit that, so... I keep doing that. Yeah, the first sold out Gen Con. Technically not entirely sold out in that there are, I have been told, a handful of Friday badges yet. But the first essentially sold out Gen Con. Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday are just gone. And Friday's basically all but gone. Hotel rooms are all gone. Everything. It is going to be just nuts. But it's going to be a lot of fun too. So anyway, if you're going to Gen Con, hopefully I can run into you. I am going to wear a bunch of DDO shirts and things like that. So there you go. Alright. Thank you very much for watching Friday afternoon here on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Fridays on Ice is tonight right here on Twitch, and we do have shows through the weekend as well. You can find our full schedule on the Twitch page. I will not be here next Wednesday. I will not be here next Friday. I will be at Gen Con. I will see you the following week right here on DDO Stream. Have fun, everyone, and thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you again soon.